Hello everyone, my name is Krishna Manda and I work as a technology lead at XTIVIA. Today I'm excited to share some of the best practices for cost optimization in Snowflake. Before we get started, let's take a quick overview of main components of Snowflake, which are database storage. As you know, Snowflake is a cloud agnostic service, which means it can run on AWS, GCP, and other popular cloud platforms. And the main advantage with Snowflake is the independence on data storage with regards to compute. So uh, the best thing with Snowflake is everything can work independently. So the database storage layer, you can have how many GB of data you can have, and you can have a separate compute system as well. So you have database storage and query processing, which is compute services and cloud services. So cloud services encompasses essential responsibilities like authentication and authorization. So uh, you also have the data transfer resources, which are data egress, which will cost you money. So before you start your project, having Snowflake in mind, it's better to know the pricing models of Snowflake. Here you have two kind of things, right? On-demand and pre-purchase. When you pre-purchase capacity from Snowflake, it will be lesser. That means if you know what's your data loads and if you don't know the frequency of data loads, then it's better to go with the on-demand purchase, which will be a little bit higher. But once you calculate your data loads, daily data loads, and quarterly or monthly data loads, then you can pre-purchase the capacity and use it for saving costs. So before we jump into the optimization techniques that I want to discuss, the very important thing is to know is efficiency versus effectiveness. So when you are uh, optimizing the costs, it's important to have a balance, right balance between efficiency and effectiveness. Uh, uh, while it is very important to be efficient in your use of resources, it is also equally important to prioritize effectiveness to ensure that you are delivering real value to your organization. Uh, so let me start with virtual data warehouse, where to discuss the optimization techniques. So when you are choosing virtual data warehouse, which is your compute resource, I it's better to choose the correct size. If you have a small workload, choose a small data warehouse, or if you have a very large one, you can choose a size large for your data warehouse. And also enable auto suspend and auto resume features so that you don't forget to suspend when once you're done with the data load or your query analysis. So oh, it's better to enable these features, and also better for your ETL workloads and everything. It's better to group those workloads for the with the similar warehouses, and having a control access to virtual warehouses by giving appropriate permissions for create, modify, and usage. This will ensure that authorized users only uses virtual warehouses. And it's important to educate the developers and the end users to use correct size, like I discussed earlier, to use right size data warehouses. And if the queries are running too long, it's better to set up a default timeout. Uh, Generally, Snowflake timeout is set to 48 hours, but it's better to set like 2 hours to limit the costs. Uh, and every time when you create virtual warehouses, it's better to use resource monitors to monitor the compute usage, so that you know what you are spending on your compute, right? So yeah, these techniques will optimize the costs and save a ton of money. So coming to storage optimization techniques, it's better to avoid loading large files and break down those into more manageable chunks for faster loading and efficient storage utilization. Uh, And also, it's better to store the files in same cloud provider and region to minimize data transfer costs and take advantage of low latency, network latency. So regularly review and drop unused tables to free up the storage space and reduce unnecessary costs. And for ETL loads, you can use transient tables for data processing. Uh, so they can be automatically dropped after the session ends, where it will reduce the storage overhead. And also for reference data, we can leverage external tables, which are where data is stored in native cloud storage systems, further reducing storage costs in Snowflake. And also regularly clean the staged files, which are temporary files used during a data loading process to avoid unnecessary storage costs. Going forward with cloud services, so uh, take the advantage of 10% discount on the overall total credits consumed for the particular day. So uh, Snowflake by default offers this discount as an incentive to encourage efficient usage. So always monitor and manage your cloud services consumption so that you can optimize those costs. Snowflake result cache. Cache is very important practice where you can enable it and by after up to 24 hours it will be there. So it can enhance performance and reduce cost for the- and it eliminates redundant computations and largely improves query runtime. So apart from these things, we need to discuss about the queries optimization techniques where most of the developers you spend time on the queries, right? So the first tip I want to give is avoiding select star. Instead of select star, use specific columns because Snowflake is a columnar database, right? So if you use the specific columns instead of select star and selecting all, uh, you fetch less data, which means less compute time and less cost. And instead of using create table as, consider using create or replace. Uh, this helps minimize unnecessary overhead by replacing the existing table rather than creating a new one. Also, when loading the data, prefer using copy into instead of insert into. The copy into command is optimized for bulk data loading and is more efficient, especially for data with larger data sets. And use ANSI joins in your queries because by default they are offer efficient optimization. So with also every time you have to put alerts on the resource usage and also use resource monitors for resource optimization and also for allocation. How much resource allocation is ensured with uh, priority, right? If the data warehouses are running in production, those are given priority, and most of the compute cost can be attached to production instead of development or staging purposes. And the capacity planning is simplified with valuable insights and historical data provided by Snowflake's alerts and resource monitors. So you can this enables accurate planning for future growth and a scalable resource allocation, ensuring system performance with increasing workloads. So there are many other fascinating fascinating topics in Snowflake, which can hugely reduce the costs when used properly, like materialized views and also zero copy cloning, where you can have as many as environments like test environment without copying anything, and using query profiles to know what's wrong with a given query, where where it is taking time, whether it is computer, it's a storage thing, and micro partitions. All these things, all these things further help to reduce the costs and help the customers to use their resources effectively. I hope you find this guide on Snowflake cost optimization helpful in maximizing the value of your data platform. By implementing these strategies, you can effectively reduce costs while maintaining top-notch performance. Finally, I thank you for watching and joining us on this journey to optimize your Snowflake costs.